Welcome to RelapsePreventionPlan.net's free online rehab lessons. We believe that it's never too late to learn to prevent relapse. Welcome to this presentation on self-control and relapse prevention. Today, you will learn to define self-control, to describe self-awareness and self-knowledge, and how they can be used to increase self-control, and to list 5 ways to influence yourself to maintain self-control. A life plan. By completing our free book, Make Your Last Relapse the Last, you will create a life plan, and you will revisit the plan many times to add to it or to change it as you learn new skills and reflect on what you really want in life. Your life plan is a key part of setting a new direction in your life. To change your life and to put your plan into action requires persistence and self-control. Courage is one step ahead of fear. Control is to exercise power or authority over something. A skill such as the golfer showed excellent control over his iron and the ball. Self-control in you. The self is usually thought of as a person's personality. Self-interest is your individual interests and welfare, especially when placed before those of other people. Self-control is your ability to control your own behavior, especially in terms of reactions and impulses. On some level, you know that the biggest obstacle to reaching your personal definition of success is yourself. You are often bad for you. When it comes to self-control, what most people want more than anything else is instruction on how to get more of it. But self-control feels like a mystery. It's a strength that comes from within. No one can give it to you. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And you must use it or you lose it. Getting to group on time, eating breakfast, listening, getting to yoga class, completing written assignments all require self-control. Our online lessons support you to put structure in your life and to practice and strengthen your self-control on a daily basis. Self-control is sexy, but then again, so is losing it. Novels and movies are filled with characters who exercised extreme self-control and saved the world or themselves. Rocky Balboa gave many people hope that they too could exercise self-control and achieve their dreams. But novels and movies are full of the opposite, characters who lost all control, such as Trainspotting. Maintaining or losing self-control is a common plot device, and we love it. But self-control is a key strength. It provides what we all need in order to behave well, even when others don't behave well. No one can see us. And the key to happiness in life lies in self-control, in curbing our desire to do what is bad for us. So why do we sometimes behave well? We say no to ourselves when we want to say yes to live up to personal goals and values, to please others. And good behavior results from selfish desires at least as often as it results from a wish to meet the expectations of others. Bad behavior results from selfish desires at least as often as it stems from a wish to meet the expectations of others. Example, reasons for behaving well. Take out a pen and a piece of paper and follow along and complete the exercise. Pause if you need more time to answer. I remain faithful to my partner, not because I feel I have to, but because I want to be the kind of person who doesn't cheat. I do it for myself. Years pass and I find out my partner was cheating on me. I feel devastated, but I do not feel I wasted my fidelity. All along, I was being the kind of person I wanted to be. If I enter into another relationship, I can truthfully say I was always faithful to a person who ultimately cheated on me. I couldn't control my partner's behavior, but I could control mine, and I did. So, do clear personal reasons for our behavior help us cope when unexpected things happen? What do you think? What are your answers? Take a moment to write them down. Remember, you can pause the presentation while you think of your answers. How to exert self-control. Self-control, both emotional and physical, is as necessary to getting ahead in business as it is to advancing in our spiritual life, relationships, and health. Though it may prevent us from some pleasurable experiences, self-control is rarely regretted. Self-control is about exerting autonomy. Exerting autonomy is deciding for ourselves who to be and what we do. To be oneself, you say, is all important, but is oneself really worth the effort? So who are you? Pinning down your innermost core values, deciding on what you believe about yourself, it takes a lot of work. Once you think you know who you are, you can then ask, what do you owe to yourself and others? Self-control in life is about what you owe to yourself and what you owe to others, your family, friends, neighbors, political leaders, spiritual leaders, or a higher power. Much self-harm stems from lack of clear values and clear goals. Physical harm means you diminish, destroy, or pollute your body and make life harder. Tobacco, excessive drug or alcohol intake, or a high-fat diet shorten your lifespan and increase the risk of poor health. Spiritual harm means that you allow despair or cynicism to strangle your inner life. Most people recognize the need for hope in something better. Social harm means that you receive less sympathy or help when you suffer if you haven't worked to create healthy relationships with others. It includes dangerous or foolish sexual liaisons that put health and goals at risk. Emotional harm means you regret not having made good decisions in the past and the lost opportunities. You believe you have damaged your life, your self-respect or self-worth, and goodness as a human being. You feel life would have been better if you had married someone else or taken a different career path. But you already have extremely powerful self-control. You can achieve new life goals if you provide yourself the reasons, structure, and supports to achieve and strengthen your self-control. You exerted extreme self-control when you were using. You got up even when you were tired and sick as a dog to find another hit. You had strong reasons, you had motivation, and you had a goal. You exerted self-control when you were drinking by planning ahead and setting aside enough alcohol to get you through the long weekend. You had strong reasons, you had motivation, and you had a goal. Think about it. You exerted the self-control required to maintain your addiction lifestyle. You still have the strength of self-control. It isn't gone. You have shown self-control that other people only dream of having. The difference is you used your self-control for the wrong goals and for the wrong value system. You made mistakes. Now you need to clarify your vision and goals and set up the structures so you will succeed. You found the self-control to live an addiction lifestyle. Now you can use that same strength to create a new life. So keep an eye on yourself. Together, self-awareness and self-knowledge provide ways to pursue an effective, useful, and fulfilling life by increasing your consciousness of the choices you make moment by moment. It can be difficult to get what you want or be what you want if you're not sure about what it is or how to go about it. Self-awareness is about noticing who you really are, how you feel, and why you do the things that you do in the ways you do them. So we begin by expanding your choices. The more you know about how you operate, who you really are, and what you really want, the more you can choose how to live your life. What you think affects what you do and how you feel. What you do has an impact on how you feel and what you think. And how you feel fuels what you do and how you think about it. It's a cycle of living that you can control. So keep expanding awareness of your strengths. Self-awareness is the ability to perceive your own existence, including your traits, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's a personal understanding of the very core of your identity and being, a process of scrutinizing yourself as you live. Bear in mind that everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and being honest about both will help you plan out a life that takes maximum advantage of your strengths. Your signature strengths are the positive characteristics that you clearly demonstrate and are identified with you. So, what kind of life are you living? A pleasant life. Like ice cream, tastes wonderful in the first spoonful but quickly loses its impact. An engaging life is engrossing because it makes use of your signature strengths. And a meaningful life involves applying your signature strengths in service to something larger than yourself. The larger, the better. So, what are strengths? Curiosity, love of learning, judgment, ingenuity, emotional intelligence, perspective, valor, perseverance, integrity, kindness, loving, fairness, leadership, prudence, humility, appreciation, and your signature strength, self-control. Strategies to use strengths. We develop ways to cope with life as best we can, learning from personal experiences such as addiction, from our parents, siblings, teachers, friends, children, partners, and others. Our life strategies, some effective and some not so effective, tend to stay with us as patterns of behavior or habits, unless we take deliberate steps to change them. If you don't reflect on why you do things and what is motivating you, you risk living with outdated and less effective strategies that limit your ability to be your best. So increase your self-awareness. Increasing self-awareness is a process of stepping back and creating a healthy space between your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It gives you the potential to do things differently if you choose, rather than mindlessly repeating what you learned as a child, regardless of whether it works for you or not. The more refined your self-knowledge, the more you understand who you really are, the more likely you are to make choices that are right for you, and the more likely you will have the power of self-control in your life. So grab that pen and the piece of paper, and let's step through this lesson. Step through the lesson and pause the presentation if you need more time to think about the question or to answer. Take 5 minutes and list at least 10 strengths that you developed while living through your experience of addiction, and consider the following examples: patience, humility, foresight, ability to withstand physical and emotional pain, ability to find people to help me, tolerance for those less fortunate, and helping those less fortunate. Which of these can you draw on right now? Remember, pause the presentation if you need more time. Now, share your strengths list. Have a non-using friend or family member jot down their strengths. As they share their strengths, if you notice that they apply to you, add them to your list. Put your strengths list where you can see it and read it every morning when you get up and every evening before you go to bed. Add to your list whenever you develop another coping skill. Most of your life is outside your direct control. You can't control other people, the death rate, the weather, the economy, accidents, or the stars. But you can, most of the time, control yourself. You can be prepared for many possibilities. You can be ready for the unexpected. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Does that sound familiar? Of course it does. So get ready for the unexpected and be proactive. Get more education, such as having more qualifications may not guarantee a job, but if the opportunity comes along, it increases your chances of getting another one if you lose yours unexpectedly. Prepare a response. Worried that someone will find out about your past addiction and ask a question at the wrong time? Assume they will, and have an answer ready. Practice it. Set your boundaries. Build resilience. Worried that you might get sick? Get extra sleep. Eat well. And work out, so that if you do get sick, your body will be better able to recover. So to increase your self-control, appeal to the thinking part of the mind. Use reason. Reason can involve sheer logic, the use of analogies or stories, the creation of visual information such as a chart or a picture, and use research. Find relevant information and use your judgment about whether it is reason enough for you. To increase self-control, appeal to the feeling part of the mind. Use resonance. Find and use a view, idea, or perspective that resonates or feels right to you, seems to fit the current situation, and convinces the person or yourself that further considerations are not necessary. You're convinced. Use many descriptions of the same thing. An idea becomes convincing if you see it in a number of different forms. Write your goals. Make them into plaques. Paint them. Represent them in pictures. Write them in a song. Have someone else read them to you. Have them printed on a t-shirt. Use resources and rewards to advance goals. Your mind can be changed if rewards and resources such as time are used to succeed in your goals. Spend time working on the goals. Dedicate time to thinking and talking about them. Give up on other things so you can have money to spend on your plan. And develop rewards for yourself that have meaning, such as a new dress when you have clocked 10,000 miles on your pedometer. Recognize resistance. Every effort to change encounters resistance. It is easy and natural to change your mind and behaviors when you are young. A toddler rarely resists learning to walk instead of crawling, and to run instead of walking. As we age, we develop strong views and perspectives that are resistant to change. Any effort to exert self-control must consider resistance. But here's the evidence about self-control and relapse prevention. Self-control is not strengthened through testing yourself needlessly by driving past the neighborhood pub or shooting gallery. Self-control is like any body muscle. It's strengthened through use or exerting self-control to take positive actions in your life every moment. Exerting self-control to take positive action to manage cravings, negative emotions, and stressful events increases your ability in the future to exert self-control spontaneously. The best years of your life are the ones in which you decide your problems are your own. You don't blame them on your mother, the ecology, or the president. You realize that you control your own destiny. So take the reins back. Here are the references for this presentation. In this presentation, you learn to define self-control. You learn to describe self-awareness and self-knowledge and how they can be used to increase self-control. And you listed 5 ways to influence yourself to maintain self-control. Don't forget to complete our free downloadable workbook, Make Your Last Relapse the Last, available on relapsepreventionplan.net. Remember, this video is not a substitute for proper medical care and consultation with your physician or qualified healthcare professional. Don't ignore professional advice or delay seeking treatment based on the information in this video or on this YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. You can do it. We believe in you. Don't give up.